you know, he did a nice job utilizing those knees to that body as well as those punches. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing him without those shin guards on and seeing him ground and pound to the face and seeing him be able to use all those tools at his disposal.
Yeah, Hackett was impressive. Well, the crowd is getting hyped up for these two guys coming into the cage right now.
We have Mr. Kyle O'Brien coming in. You see Mervin Rodriguez there with him, a local Amsterdam native pro fighter. This gentleman is fighting out of high-level jiu-jitsu in Amsterdam with Coach Jane Fallis. Very excellent school with an excellent pedigree of combat sports and jiu-jitsu. Mr. Harley Beekman, another local pro. Having those grizzled veterans that have fought pro and amateur has to give you a certain level of confidence. You know, and this young man, even though it's the first time we're seeing him in the cage, he's bringing how many years of experience with him?
Yeah, it does appear that he looks like a very athletic fighter. He looks to be in tremendous shape.
This is in that 145-pound division.
And I would imagine this is probably one of the more competitive weight classes that you'll have in Cage Wars.
Absolutely, because there's a depth of talent in that weight class. You know, in those weight classes, the technique tends to be, very good. Conditioning tends to be high. I love the heavyweights, but sometimes up there we lose a little bit of technique, lose some conditioning. This is that prime spot. And this young man right here, he surprised the hell out of me last time he was here. Excellent jiu-jitsu skills, excellent composure, awareness. He's one of those guys that you might sleep on because he doesn't look like, he's a killer, but this young man is very skilled. Another one of Brian Bury's soldiers out of that school.
Well, I agree with you. He doesn't look like a killer. That doesn't mean that he's not a killer.
And his last show, his last outing, he really did amazing, coming off a big win.
You can never allow body types or demeanor when a fighter is entering the cage. It's easy to try to persuade that this fighter's got more skill because of how they look or how they appear.
Well, look at Roy Nelson for how many years?
100%.
He looked like a Bud Light commercial. This young man's nice and calm. You know, that's the thing too. These athletes just really surprise me. The level of professionalism and their demeanor as they enter this cage, something extremely stressful like that, is just amazing.
I'm excited. We've got Morse and O'Brien at 145.
We're about to start round one. Our beautiful Cage Wars girl has the round one placard here. We're going to bring it up to the ring announcer, Mike Falvo.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our next contest on the card for Cage Wars 52, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in our featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in yesterday 144 1/2 pounds. Representing Black Lotus Fitness out of Amsterdam, New York, Kyle O'Brien.
And actually, let me make that correction. It's Black Lotus Fitness with Harley.
Out of the red corner. He weighed in yesterday 143 1/2 pounds. Representing Brian Bury, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out of Watervliet, New York, Justin Morse. And the man in charge of the action when that door closes, Mr. Dan Mergliata.
You know, we talked about this, Brian. How awesome is it for these athletes to have a guy like Big Dan Mergliata in the cage, keeping them safe, making sure it's on the up and up, and it's as professional as you can get.
I don't think you can do better than this. You know one thing when you enter this cage. With all the unknown, it's going to be reffed properly.
100%. All right, Morse, O'Brien, both these young men look to make a statement here in this division. Nice job by Morse catching that leg, bringing it to the ground. Again, you know, they're all well-versed in everything, but Morse, per his last fight, is very comfortable on the ground. Doing a good job securing the position, a little bit of ground and pound to the body. O'Brien looking to get up to a hip to an elbow. Closes that guard. Morse trying to create some separation, posture up. Now, if you notice, O'Brien's hipping out. That's what the coaches always tell you to do, get the hip out. If the guard's closed, you're limited in what you can do. So periodically you'll see them try to go from a closed guard, open guard, try to get to a hip. There we go. Get to that elbow for a sweep.
You know, it can't be easy, too, early in a round when your opponent is very fresh to get them down and keep them down. And that's what you're seeing here. O'Brien appears to be getting some control, but Morse was given every ounce of energy. He did not want to be on his back.
Yes, and it actually gets worse as the fight goes on because of the sweat. So then you're getting really slippery and sweaty.
Well, he's got to keep those strikes a little bit closer to the body. He didn't connect on a couple that appeared to be heading to that illegal area for the amateurs.
Trying to clear those knees, trying to advance position out of that open guard. But again, O'Brien doing a nice job keeping him there, you know. The problem is, we talked about this, right now the judges are just seeing Morse on top.
That's it.
They saw the takedown, and they see him controlling on top.
Well, now he's starting to land a couple of strikes.
And again, these aren't going to be big ground and pound strikes to the body, but you're earning points. You're taking some things out of your opponent's gas tank, and you're making your opponent react to you.
And here's the thing. With 3-minute rounds, you get your opponent down, you could easily milk half of the round.
As long as you keep your action moving. But again, as we saw in that last fight, the ref will stand you up if they deem there's not enough action. Oh, got to be careful. Got to be careful. You cannot twist on leg locks. Oh, so you see O'Brien looking a little bit confused because Dan Mergliata told him that was a straight ankle lock where he thought it might have been a heel hook. But Dan explained that was a straight ankle lock. So again, that's not something you see in amateur mixed martial arts a lot because heel hooks and any rotating leg locks are illegal. I used to hate reffing when that would happen because the natural reaction is to somebody gets your leg, you start to roll. You know, so that can be a very dangerous position. And I think that was a confusing thing for O'Brien because I don't think he understood that was a legal technique.
Well, it happened quickly, and we could see the replay
we'll hear the replay
now.
Right here. You'll see him. He's going to bring that left hand back. You'll see him fall into that ankle lock. He's trying to pull that right leg out. And you'll see Morse say, okay, you want to pull the leg out? I'm going to take the ankle. Morse aware, using that ground and pound. Making O'Brien react. O'Brien's got that closed guard, waiting for his opportunity to try to open and get to a hip. Here he goes, getting to the hip. Morse just keeping that control. Nice and calm, ground and pound of the body.
And you're right about that. Very relaxed, very methodical in nature, knowing exactly what he needed to do to get himself in position to finish it.
Which is what we saw in his last fight. He looks to his corner. His corner must have given him some instruction. He falls back to that straight ankle lock on that right ankle of O'Brien. And again, you can see O'Brien just kind of confused. I don't think he realized that was a legal technique.
But hey,
kudos to Justin Morse. This young man has an amazing grappling acumen.
Referee Dan Mergliata has called a stop to the fight at 1 minute 59 seconds into round number 1. For your winner, by way of straight ankle lock tap out, Justin Morse.